Today we're going to be talking about the Galaxy Tab A7 Lite. Let's get into it. So this tablet is pretty small. I mean, I'm pretty impressed with this thing. To me, it kind of reminds me of a Fold. Like, the dimensions remind me a lot of a Fold. Like, when you fold it out, it has the same feel in the hand. When you hold it, it feels very much like a Fold. And with the software being sort of similar to a Fold, with you having the dock along the bottom and having all of the features that you have on the Fold, you can do split screen and it's a nice bright screen. Now, as expected, this thing comes in at $150 and it gets the same sort of features as something like a Tab S9. This tablet is pretty cool. I really do like it, and I think it's honestly a good sized tablet. Now for me, I don't really use a tablet much, and this for me will be a medium machine and something to have an extra SIM card in case I need it. Like, this will be useful for a majority amount of things. So if you're just wanting to search Google, or you're just wanting to maybe have something that you have that can take some extra phone calls, maybe for business, it's also a good kiosk little device. If you're trying to do stuff, it is pretty good. Now, one thing I would say that I noticed straight out of the box is she's a little bit slow. Click the home button. That delay is crazy. Turning on the thing and then swiping up, that's got a bit better. Now, you may be asking why. Now, what I've done is I've set it up so when I am at home, I don't have to put in the pin. But having to put in the pin, it did not like that one bit. Now this, I can hold this with one hand comfortably because it is so thin. Now this thing did come out 3 years ago and it still is very modern in some aspects. The screen is almost border to border, but you know, that's expected on a tablet that's $150. You don't expect this thing to be edge to edge. It's still thin and it's got a nice clean back, and obviously it's got USB-C. Let's say you're just watching YouTube on this thing, it is going to be absolutely fine. Now the speakers, they're all right. Let's do a little test now. Now, as you can see, they're all right, but they're not like amazing. There's 2 speakers, one either side, one by the charging port, one on the other side. Now this thing is very light. You will honestly not notice that you're even holding it, or if you can get it in your pocket like I can, it doesn't even feel like it's there, which is kind of weird considering it's a whole tablet. And one thing I would say, one good thing about it being so light is that if you are using it for something like college, uni, or just as a media machine, holding it like this or holding it like this above your head, it doesn't get strenuous. It honestly is really, really good for that aspect. If you're just using it for media and you're holding it, it is really good. Whereas there are some tablets, and my phone is heavier than this tablet. Like, that is crazy. A phone is heavier than this whole tablet. Now, one thing I would definitely say is that I do not expect to be using this for anything performance intensive. Don't be trying to use games with it. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to be bad with games, but I just really wouldn't recommend it. If you want something that you can give your kid to watch some videos on, this is going to be absolutely fine. Like, you don't need to give them an iPad Pro. So as we can see here, we get the tablet version of YouTube, and I'm just going to turn down the volume. But if we make this thing full screen, you can see that it is absolutely fine. Now this is running at 1080p at 60. Now this display is only 720p, so don't be expecting to be getting any sharp quality. Don't run the display on this. For this size, 720p is absolutely fine, but it does get upscaled to 1080p. So it does look really nice. If you make it full screen, it does look all right. I wouldn't say it's a silky smooth OLED black, but it is definitely something that is bearable and you can use, and it's not gonna, you don't need, for the price, it's so difficult because for this price, I think all of these things are absolutely justified. Like, the screen not being 720p, the speakers being mid, the display being mid, the camera being really bad, and just the software being a bit laggy. I mean, look, it's doing picture-in-picture at the moment. It's running, not the smoothest, but it's running. Like, it can do simple things like this. It's so difficult to say anything bad about it when it's $150, and this is Wi-Fi plus cellular. So you can still take phone calls and texts. So you could use this thing as if it's a phone, and you've got a whole screen that's the same size as a fold. It's very sturdy, doesn't bend easily, and it's a Samsung Android tablet. Don't get me wrong, this thing came out 3 years ago, so it is probably at the end of its support in terms of new software, but it will get security updates, and it is so difficult to say that this thing is bad. Like, I don't understand what I could say is bad for the price point. If you're looking for a tablet that can get you into the Samsung ecosystem and is something that's cheap, simple, you can give to a kid, that doesn't matter if it gets dropped, doesn't matter if it gets banged about. I mean, it's so difficult for me to say, don't get this if you're considering it, because yeah, the performance isn't 100% top notch, but what you do expect for $150? It's not gonna be like a Tab S9, and it's not trying to be this. It's just trying to be a tablet that you can use to do basic media consumption and maybe some bit of work on there, just to like if you just want to drop down notes or something simple. It's not meant for anything hardware intensive. But if you are thinking of getting this tablet and you are considering it, I honestly recommend you just go ahead and buy it. I don't see no reason why you won't. It's $150. Yeah, you might not use it a couple years down the line, and it is going to be a bit of e-waste probably in the future. Like, this thing is not going to be like an iPad Pro where you can still use it all these years later. But if you just want something you can watch YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus, and you want something that's got USB-C and you're just looking for a tablet that does the job, buy it. Now, if you are someone like me who likes performance intensive everything, yeah, this tablet is probably not for you if you're looking for something that can do insane performance. But the main reason why I love it and I just kind of have a soft spot for it is because it's a whole Android tablet, $150, and it just does everything that you would need. Like, for me, I only really use tablets once in a blue moon, so this is going to be used for Disney Plus, YouTube, and maybe a Spotify, you know, kind of media player to put onto the TV. I can see why this would be useful for someone. You could take this on the go with a SIM in. This has got a SIM in, so I can take this on the go with me if I do ever want to go anywhere. It fits in my pocket, and it's just a bigger screen than my phone. So just go ahead and buy it. Just go ahead and buy it. Especially like me, if you got it for free and you just need a tablet, go right ahead and buy it. It's been Harry. I'm out. Peace.